to Space News. I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
I'm Andrew.
Braden. I'm Braden. Damn it!
We've thrown it all off now.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak in there, making sure everything was working here on the stream. Like, you know what? Honestly, for what it's worth, nothing was too off. So it's like,
could be worse. It has been worse. It has been a lot worse.
It has been much
really
worse.
bad.
I'm just gonna fix it. There we go. Woo! This week on Space News, we've got motherships, Baghdad bogies, and beaver secretions. And we'll fire up the randomatron and see what it brings us this week. This week on Space News, big week for UFO yet again. I mean, a lot of people are saying that we're getting more and more soft disclosure, but it kind of kicked off earlier this week with Jeremy. What's his full name? Kenyon it's Jeremy Kenyon Lockheed.
I don't know actually.
Corbell. What is it? Hold on. I know I have it written down here somewhere because I was like, that's his full name. Jeremy Kenyon Lockyer Corbell.
Is that a hyphenated last name?
No, that's his. He has four names, just like me.
Right.
Yeah, 4 names.
I think he prefers it to pronounce skull bowl, from what I understand.
Him and our old buddy George Knapp teamed up. I don't know if it's a regular.
They've been teamed up forever now. They're fucking Butch and Sundance. At this point,
tag team champions of the world.
Yeah, and they came out and they were releasing information about yet another bona fide UAP cited by the military American government in over a conflict zone in Baghdad. Right,
a current conflict zone.
Current.
Well, I was back
who's there right now?
I don't know. That's who I was kind of wondering too. I was like, I think there's just there's always conflict
just
above the skies of Baghdad.
Sure.
But this is from May 14th, 2022. And it was picked up by a Reaper drone caught this. Let's see if I can pull it up here without blowing up my computer.
Blow it up.
There you go. There you can see it right here. So you can see it shooting across the screen, the little line there, and it'll come back up to the left side. Caught this bona fide UAP. They don't know. They say it was being intelligently driven. It's like an intelligent craft, and they have no idea. I guess I have to bring it up for everyone else. They have no idea why or where it is or what it is.
It's like on an IR camera? That must be.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But isn't white mean warm?
Yeah, in Corbell's explanation, the little bit that I watched, he says that it is an IR camera. The background in this case, yes, it is white being hot. So the background is actually hotter than that thing. That thing is fully dark there. So it's pretty cool as it's traveling.
So it's not a missile then, I'd imagine, right?
It could be a missile because if it's traveling that fast, it wouldn't be.
Well,
hot, really. How does he explain it not being a missile?
Well, because he said if it's an active war zone, I'd imagine, North America, they're not in Iraq right now, but they're still fighting ISIL there, I'd imagine, right?
Well, I don't know when is this video taken from? Did they say that?
May 14th, 2022. But one of the things they said that this single video is not an isolated incident where you'd go a fired missile. Yes, this thing flew intelligently, and it's they're not sure what it is.
How does he define intelligently?
In a straight line's intelligent? I can go in a fucking straight line. I'm not that smart.
The best part about their little video podcast they do, Corbell and George Knapp, is George Knapp's I don't know, what is it, a torpedo? And then Corbell looks at him and goes, well, no, because it's not in the water. That's right.
Hey, fair enough.
That's my guy, man.
We saw that guy's note. We saw Knapp's notes.
He's serious.
He's that guy serious. He's organized for sure.
I guess wherever they get their classified documents from, wherever Knapp in his notes, he must have a quote that's saying it was seen under intelligent control in controlled flight for a period of over numerous times over the course of 24 hours.
What wasn't there something? There was some sightings in Mosul not too long ago, wasn't there?
Missoula.
You're talking about the orbs? You're talking about the orbs?
Yeah,
one?
the Mosul orb. That's right.
Yeah, those happened a while ago, and some of these could possibly be. It's not like, I mean, they only have that still photo of the Mosul one. Like, that's the only one that they have. Like, this footage that Corbell revealed is interesting for sure. Like, when you watch it going across, you can obviously see that, I mean, just taking the details from, what he's putting out there and what you can see with your eyes. Like, you can see it's being propelled by something. Like, something's coming out the back. Like, you can see that it has some type of propulsion going on.
And as this like missile looking thing flies across the screen, it shows like interference behind it, like it's leaving like an exhaust trail or something is like disturbing the air behind it. You kind of like
so
see
it's
like the clouds like or something like
terrestrial propulsion. Then basically, right?
We don't know because it's
Well, it looks that way. Like we could explain it with our technology.
If it's IR though, that missile's burning red, like it's hot, but it doesn't show white on the screen.
Not if it's going fast though. Dick Dans would just said, because that's the question.
So it would just be cool. It would just be cooling off the outside because it's just traveling through the air. Like, it's not whatever. I'm not sure how high
the rocket be hot no matter what. That's fire. But
why? My thing is this is one of those ones where it's been like the government has said like, yes, this is in fact a detecting of a UAP. Like, if they thought, like, why would they not just be like, it's a torpedo?
Yeah.
Right. If that's what it is, if it's one of those air torpedoes, right?
Listen, there's a lot of questions here that we don't have the answers to, but you want to know the one thing we know for sure?
What's that?
Iraq's got fucking Stargates. We know this. We've talked about it.
We've investigated.
Yeah.
We've investigated. We know that. We know it for a fact. So, of course, they got UAPs flying around Baghdad. Right?
It doesn't seem like a stretch. Not at all.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like a missile. It kind of like flies straight like a missile, but you don't get so much. You only get so many seconds of it.
Yeah, I would just like to see what leads them to conclude that it is under intelligent control or whatever. Like, I mean,
why does their podcast have the worst audio? They seem like they're pretty successful people. Like, buy a better mic.
Why don't you get a hold of these guys? Get them in Meteor. Let's go.
You gotta record it here.
Yeah, bring him in on your new startup, Torpedo Studios. Interesting stuff coming out. Like, it was fired up on Twitter. People are sending us out on social media. Just quick shout out to the chat. We've got a couple people shooting us nice messages. Anfamous back again. Morty's. Divine Maniac, Sam Gibson, and LKS Cali. Thanks for tuning in. What else we got for this week in space news?
What popped up that we found out some pretty neat stuff, that our solar system is perhaps a little bit more fine-tuned than we give it credit for. There's the article about the astrophysicist shows how one small change to our solar system could unravel the entire thing.
Existence.
Yeah. And that one small thing, adding an entire fucking planet. I don't.
Yeah. And not a small planet, like a fairly big planet.
No, yeah, not like a Pluto, not like a Mercury. Like, you need like a super Earth or like a mini Neptune.
Somewhere like 17 solar masses of the Earth. It's like 17 times bigger than the Earth.
Just that one small change, though, will throw everything out of whack, according to Stephen Crane of the University of California, Riverside.
Guy's smart.
I love this article because when I saw it and I started to read it, I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be some like butterfly effect shit where they're talking about like, you know, Earth, if Earth dies, and then this will cause a solar system chain of events, or if we leave it like something crazy, and they're like, no, it's crazy. If you add another thing that has a huge gravitational pull, it pulls everything out of orbit. It's crazy. And they start colliding and fucking all hell breaks loose. I was like, well, no shit. Guess what else? If we fucking blew up one of the planets, the same thing would happen. Like, this is not a little thing. I thought it was going to be a little step by step of like how this would get like insane.
Nope, got to knock a whole other planet in there and knock the whole gravitational balance off.
Yeah,
off kilter.
Pop an entire giant planet. Yeah, from what I was reading in the articles, they didn't really say whether it is like, do you just because he ran some simulations about being like, okay, if you placed in another planet, like, hypothetically, like where the asteroid belt is, like, if there used to be a planet there or whatever, could you, would it throw everything out? You probably popped it into like universe simulator or something or whatever. And I'm like, okay, did you just drop it in there? Or did you you're just like, okay, I'm going to put this planet in this orbit and go, because that would just throw things out. Cause it's like our universe took billions of years to form. If you just drop in a whole entire, like a fucking Death Star.
This is like the order and the chaos. Like the perfect balance that we've achieved in our solar system is from hundreds of thousands of years of just fucking pure pandemonium of just shit. Actually, smashing, ricocheting.
When I was looking up this guy Stephen Crane, he's got a number of articles under his belt, and one of them was titled, I didn't read it, but like I saw the title that was interesting. It was something about like how the Death Star ended up killing all of the Ewoks, like even though it didn't blow up like the moon of Endor or whatever. But and it was essentially being like it was essentially, I think this might have been like to that point. I feel like if you had a Death Star that was just like hanging around a planet, like it would throw off the gravitation by so much.
Yeah, you would have to build it like in the middle of nowhere, really, or else it would fuck everything up in the solar system.
I feel like maybe that was
interesting.
I think it possibly. I didn't read I didn't read the article, but maybe that has something to do with this.
We got a good comment here from Tyler Klein. Tyler Klein says, this might be comment of the night. It's early on, but this is a good one. I love Andrew's stream because it always looks like he's streaming from prison with all the weights, but it's like a really low security prison where he's made friends with the warden.
I'm in white collar prison.
It's true. It's true. It's good. Now we got I think we're going to get on to the other big one that hit the UFO news of, was it a congressman who said, listen, I'm not saying there's an alien mothership in our solar system.
However,
but there may be an alien mothership in our solar system, right? It's possible. So that sent Twitter and all our followers nuts. They were sending us all sorts of articles and stuff this week. What's the deal with that?
It's actually the head of the AARO, what is it? The AARO program.
The AARO?
Yeah, the AARO.
Sounds like a good insurance.
That's impressive. I thought this was just a big publicity stunt for the opening of Rogan's fucking comedy club.
No, it's Sean Kirkpatrick who it's the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, they are pretty much the people who are in charge of the entire federal UAP investigation that's going on right now. They have kind of like a, multi-branch or interagency kind of whatever. They got put together team, the Avengers of UAP, military UAP investigators, I suppose. And so it was there was a paper penned by him and our best buddy Avi Loeb. The Oumuamua guy,
the most best well-dressed podcaster out there.
I love how he has been downgraded from Harvard physicist to, that Oumuamua guy.
Well, okay, yeah, he is still chairman of Harvard University's astronomy department.
Of all his accolades, yeah, the Oumuamua guy. Everyone knows who we're talking about.
So yeah, they put together a paper, and it's pretty much a speculation about what type of signs you could look for to recognize like interstellar craft or qualities that UAPs may exhibit while they're being observed and things like that. And so like the quote where it mentions the idea of a mothership is an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth, an operational construct not too dissimilar from NASA missions. So they're kind of like seems to be like floating the idea that interstellar objects such as Oumuamua, and I think the other one was like M2 or T2. There was another object that came in before Oumuamua.
And what they're saying is that like if these things came in and did drop probe like objects like NASA does, that there's not enough, they wouldn't be reflective enough for us to pick them up, like, and they wouldn't get enough sunlight reflecting for us to notice them. So they could be spread out already doing their thing all over the place, right? We got a black night satellite in our atmosphere, right? Like maybe this has happened before, right? You know, we've known about, if you don't know what a Muamua is, hashtag look it up. It's an object that went around our sun and then accelerated. It was like, took one look at Earth and was like, let's get the fuck out of here, turned on the afterburners and then pieced out, which baffled everyone. So like them saying that, like them coming out now and being like, this is like a possibility. Like we wouldn't really know because the other thing is they don't really know what they're looking for. Like in an alien civilization, like, you know, we have our sci-fi idea of what these things might be like, right? But we have no true idea exactly what these could be, right? Maybe the moon's already their base, right?
Dark side, far side.
Yeah, I think people often take for granted about like how fucking huge space is. Like you could hide a lot of stuff just in between here and maybe the moon. Probably, like it wouldn't be that. I would assume that maybe NASA or some astronomers or observatories like keep track of some of these when they do their surveys and stuff. They take track of some of these, like a Lagrange point. Like if you parked like a probe at the Lagrange point, like of Earth's Earth's little like orbit. That would remain stationary. I wonder if anybody's like keeping an eye on that. Like if anybody's like parking there and being like, hey, you know, something's going on here.
That's interesting because I guess mathematically these Lagrange points would be known by like an intelligent species coming. They'd be like, oh, we could park out here and float.
If you could get here, you would definitely know about those.
Right.
Yeah.
So then if we know the points, if you're eyeballing that.
Let's pretend that we know that Lagrange isn't just a ZZ Top song. What the fuck does that mean? What is Lagrange?
The Lagrange point is like, it's the distance from Earth. We're not getting pulled in anymore. You're like perfectly balanced where you're so far out, but close enough where you're just kind of held stationary in that point in space, drifting along. Right, yeah, like okay. you're not losing orbit. You can stay perfect. That's where we park the one telescope, the new one, the James Webb.
I literally remember us talking about it on our Gundam episode of Japan Shoot Anime, explaining that's where we would park space colonies. But yeah, it's like, but for something like this, like I guess, like if you've already accepted the idea that there is intelligent life out there, you know, being like, yes, there are small objects in our solar system that probably couldn't be spotted. Yeah, like could you find the Tesla that we launched out into space? Could you find it right now with a telescope? Probably not. So if anything is like anything smaller than, you know, say like a 3-story building or something like that, you probably wouldn't be able to find it. Like it'd be really hard to find.
It's a lot of space out there.
Yeah,
as they say.
So so this thing is kind of this headline to me is like, okay, yes, a UFO mothership could be in our solar system. It's possible. Well, of course it's possible. Like there's a lot of space out there.
And like this came on February 16th, you had Democrats and Republican senators, a team of them, basically calling for full funding of Arrow, right? Like they want to see more funding go to this program and stuff. So my question to you guys is, do you think them coming out with these things, because it's like, is this a distraction piece coming out to distract people from other stuff going on? Or do you think this is, again, more soft disclosure? Because I think we're getting to the point where if an alien mothership was in the solar system, I don't think too many people would bat an eye. I truly don't. What do you guys think?
Was there ads on the article?
Well, hold on. They're all targeted ads. No foot fungus ones this time.
Yeah,
though.
Just anime waifu games for Braden.
Yeah, erectile dysfunction medications.
It's all really Pepto-Bismol and Tums.
So I mean, though, the Military Times is where this article is from. They're making money off clicks.
Well, I mean, there's a ton of. That's just the article I chose, but there's a ton of articles. Like it went at once the congressmen and senators called for full funding of Arrow, and then they were talking about the possibility of a mothership already in the solar system. It kind of went viral, right? So it's like, it's hard to really encapsulate, the ad revenue from that. But I think,
I think there's a third.
Something goes viral.
there's a third option probably where it's like, okay, so they're calling for funding, so you have to secure that funding somehow. So now I feel like this kind of runs the risk of being like they're trying to get the money, so they're going to write up like everything. You're going to throw out as many possibilities as you can and see whatever sticks to the wall. Like, yeah, there could be an alien mothership out there. You need to give us $10 billion in order to find it. You know,
there's a chance it's out there.
So yeah, but I think like most of the government penny pinchers will be like, well, okay, do you guys have some definite proof or something we could go on to justify us giving you all this money?
and to be honest, I think we should be moving away from like us trying to spot these things and getting artificial intelligence to scan the skies, right? Like, and not just for motherships in our solar system, but for interstellar objects that we're not catching, right? There's so many like near misses that they're just like, whoa, where'd that one come from? Whoops. Just missed it, right? So it's that's where I would kind of like to see this go. But it's definitely interesting. It seems like in the last like year and a a half. Yeah, 100%.
I want to see this ship.
I don't want to see it coming through the atmosphere like Independence Day, but
I want to see it. It accidentally gets in front of the Hubble in like the perfect angle, and it's just like a perfect like time lapse of this fucking ship flying by.
Could you imagine like on a NASA live stream, just like you're just like,
whoa,
it's like,
what was that?
Like, yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, like on the spacewalk, someone's on the spacewalk, they're harnessed off, and behind them there was just a fucking giant alien craft just hovering.
Yeah,
and it's undeniable what it is. It's like, well,
like the Transformers trailer that they had that one time. It's like just coming over the moon. You're just like guys on the moon, like, oh fuck, oh shit.
I think it's Beagley on chat said hot local motherships in your area.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Sign me up for that dating site.
What else we got going on this week?
Let's see. I feel like I see this article pop up like every now. I've seen this one pop up in the last couple of years about ancient zombie viruses revived after only 50,000 years. You know, it's like the whole. In my head, the Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers intro comes away. After 10,000 years, I'm free. Or 50,000 years. 50,000.
It is like I love seeing these articles because I'm always like. It's kind of like a two-pronger where I'm like, we shouldn't be fucking with these things. But at the same time, it's like, we kind of need to be ready because like if there is some sort of virus that's been in the permafrost for 50,000 years, that's going to be released, that we have our bodies, plant life, fauna, animals have absolutely zero antibodies for, right? It just runs rampant. Like you kind of, it's one of those things where you're like, you kind of want to be ahead of the curve. But as we saw with the, in the last 3 years, I don't know if we can be trusted, right? I don't know if we can be trusted to do these things.
It is.
Let's keep the viruses in check here.
I've seen this one. I've seen this article pop up a couple of times. I think at least since like 2014, 2016. There's always this discovery that's going to pop up since, the areas in Siberia that most of these studies come out of have, large areas of permafrost, which are now melting, as the climate shifts. And you have, you're able to get down into the ground, and there's a lot of stuff that's been there for 50 tens of thousands of years. And now you find these things that there's no recorded cases so far of these viruses infecting living animals as of now. Some of the ones that they've extracted from the bodies of
are amoebas alive?
Amoebas are
because they be fucking up amoebas,
right? Well, those are the lab amoebas, kind of like it's just like the single-celled organisms and things like this. But they have extracted
Listen,
those viruses.
We're giving them once they get a taste for single cells. You don't think they're going to want more cells?
What I'm saying is they extracted these viruses from dead animals that went extinct. So I think that one of them was actually extracted from a body of a woolly mammoth. I think another one might have been like a cave bear or some such.
Fucking giant bear.
But these ones. And now if the viruses weren't bad enough, there is also the possibility that you do have ancient bacteria as well. And there is
flesh eating.
There is a
something like ancient athlete's foot.
Well, there's something like anthrax, for example. So you have like
that's worse.
Apparently, there was a case a while ago in 2016 where like some humans and reindeer in Siberia actually faced an outbreak of anthrax, and they're thinking that like, how did it get out there? They're thinking this might have been that might have been a possible, vector in that case. I don't think it ever came to I think it's still kind of a mystery about how that happened, but some of the scientists like that might have been the first, a dormant virus comes back.
It's either that or it's the Grinch, man, going after those reindeer, trying to kill Christmas.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's
sounds like a bad idea.
I think it's one of those things we're going to see pop up every couple months because of these areas that are normally covered in ice and stuff melting at a faster rate.
Yeah, we're looking for new resources to mine from these newly thawed regions.
So I think we're going to be running into this kind of stuff more and more and seeing it. Do they always need to say zombie virus? I'm like, do they say zombies virus because it was frozen? Like, listen, some good stuff was frozen and came back to life. Encino Man,
animals, I think,
Encino Man, good.
Yeah.
Right?
Isn't that why they're coming from dead animals? That's why it's zombie virus?
Yeah, but maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Here's the problem. This makes perfect sense. Like it's an ancient curse. We're going to be fucking all this permafrost is melting. They're going to think of all these we got all these opportunities to frack or some shit. They're going to drill into it. They're going to release some crazy fucking Tutankhamun curse of zombie plague, and we're fucked.
Could you imagine if that was like if you looked back on the the record of Earth, and we have all these Earth-ending events. Could you imagine if one of them was during a global warming period where a virus basically wiped out all living things on Earth? And we just this was millions of years ago. We have no idea. But this is just something that could happen, and we just have no idea. I think that's the extreme case that they're looking at.
What if it's a what's fungus,
Cortisol.
Cortisol's,
right?
yeah.
That's what you said. Fungus, athlete's foot, man.
Yeah, takes over, keeps you alive, takes over your brain.
Yeah, and then you turn fucking back into the...
What you guys saying cortisols? What are you guys saying?
Cortisols.
Do you mean cordyceps?
Cordyceps, yeah. What's cortisol?
Cortisol, stress hormone.
Hey, we're not scientists.
Cordyceps are the fungus that the bug eating...
cordyceps.
The brain fungus. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What did I say? Cortisol? That's the shot.
What do you say, cortisol?
Yeah, that's the shot.
No, that's cortisone. That's cortisone.
What's cortisol?
Cortisol.
That's a new virus.
It's a new virus.
Undiscovered, the cortisol.
You don't know
It's like cortisol. What are you talking about?
You've never heard of it. It's buried in ice, Dan.
That's right. Yeah.
Everyone listening to this, though, they knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Stress hormones will kill you. You're right.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's real. Cortisol kills. Also makes you fat.
Now, this last article, I always like to throw one wild article on Space News that I read. I'm just like, what the fuck is this nonsense? And this one is, they're basically saying that, listen, stop saying that artificial vanilla is made from beavers' ass secretions because it's not anymore.
I thought it was raspberry.
So raspberry?
Raspberry and vanilla.
I thought it was raspberry was made for their fucking assholes.
It's raspberry and vanilla, I believe. The two are interchangeable in the claims that have propagated among social.
I made a mental note of that because I love fucking raspberries.
When I was reading this article, I was looking and I was how they had a number. They're like, hey, listen, there's a safe amount of fucking beaver anal secretion that you can eat. And it's 0.003, and it's totally fine. That's totally FDA approved. You can have that.
I want to know who thought to taste it to be like, oh yeah, that will for sure work.
Well,
I don't know. Anybody who's got cats knows that anal secretions, they're not fucking great. I don't want anything to do with them.
Well, hold on, I'm thinking about the word because there's a part in the article where it's don't worry. It's not actually anal secretion. It comes from its castral sac, from its gooch. And I'm right beside the anus. I'm oh, perfect.
Even better.
So I can lick it then, is what you're saying.
I mean, I do think it is a little bit better.
Right?
Who's the guy that's eating beaver ass that's oh, you know what? Tastes like raspberries.
Actually.
Apparently
the scent is the same. It smells very vanilla-y because
and they use it for perfume and shit.
Right, because they say it's a good base because it is like it's a very rich aroma of like wood smell and vanilla and fruity smell.
Ass.
Well, because beavers only eat grass, like they eat like wood and leaves. That's it. So it doesn't stink like cats who eat fucking cat food shit all day.
And you got to remember, like if from social studies, Hudson's Bay Company was they had a hit out on all beavers basically. So I imagine there's a lot of people with like various beaver pelts, and then you'd be skinning it and stuff, and you'd be like lick your finger and you'd be like, oh, tastes like vanilla. Like, what is that?
Well,
right?
I mean, not to mention too, you're wearing that fucking shit on your head. It's pretty close to your nose.
Yeah, right. So it's like, I think just over a period of time, they're just like, oh yeah, they're like, you know what? This is way cheaper than getting vanilla beans or anything.
I mean, at least they're using all of the animal. It's right. Like that's
even the secretions. It's just the word secretion. I was like, which food has this in it?
I mean, there is some fact to a tiny bit of fact to the claim that apparently in the 60s and 70s, there were food manufacturers that experimented with using tiny amounts of that specific chemical compound, castoreum is what it's called, to enhance artificial vanilla and strawberry and raspberry flavors. But starting in the 80s, I actually went down this rabbit hole. While I was reading about this article, starting in the 80s, a lot of brands, like more so than before this time, started to make their products more kosher. And so when you do that, kosher having to adhere to the strict rules of, as it is in the Torah, Judaism, and how that is, essentially the meat has to be, when it's butchered, has to be removed of all blood, and, shellfish are off the table. And like if it's beef, it has to be cut in a certain way and prepared in a certain way. These kinds of, and pork has to be prepared in a certain way.
A magic knife or something? Or?
What the fuck does this have to do with beaver secretions?
So anyways, but because beavers they're not on there. Like they're considered they're not kosher. There are certain animals that are declared like animal meats and stuff that are declared kosher.
Now fucking rats, man.
Well, going down this thing, dude. Apparently, things like Oreos and stuff like before the 80s like weren't kosher. Like there were things like certain using,
which is surprising because they're like completely vegan, aren't they? Like Oreos are
now.
There's nothing real.
Now they are.
That's the thing. Vegan cookies.
When I went down this hole, apparently, like it starting in the 1920s.
You went down this hole.
Unintended. Yeah, the beaver hole.
The beaver.
Yeah. So going down this beaver hole, apparently like in the 1920s, like a Orthodox like kosher union or something like that. It's like a collection of Orthodox Jewish community has kind of got together and said like they started selling the idea essentially to food companies, being like, hey, like you're missing out on an entire market by not having your foods labeled as kosher or whatever. So they went through and they started like offering up certifications and stuff to certain food companies, and food companies that would hire on certain kosher consultants essentially to be like,
seems like such a scam.
It seems really strange. Right? It's kind of nuts.
It's like the mafia. It's like the mafia. Like they're like, yeah, you got to put our label on it, right?
But that's the thing. It's like over time, that kind of stuff, like kosher products, like not only did they just sell to Jewish communities, they started selling to vegans as well, because vegans know that if it's kosher, it doesn't contain any animal. It's less likely to contain animal products, and it's going to be cleaner. And then also there is the idea that somewhere down the line, people kind of associated the idea of like the kosher brand being associated with higher quality products. Yeah. So, because I always remember the Hebrew National Hot Dog slogan, where it's like our hot dogs are good because we answer to a higher power or something like that. It was pretty nuts.
You know what? From now, all I know is from now on, when I get a vanilla Coke, I'm calling it Coke beaver ass.
But the companies figured from now on, the companies like bought it because they're like, it's actually cheaper. They're like, it's cheaper, and there's more. Once you invest in it, the returns are, you're making like you're hitting that whole market, as opposed to you just have to have like a couple guys come in and be like, okay, yeah, like your process is kosher. You're using all the right parts of the animal. You're preparing it the right way. And then
I like that.
Whatever.
They need to
It's
come up
nuts.
with a fucking brand of just like beaver ass cream.
Yeah.
Just vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. Beaver ass cream. Yeah. So Michael
Beaver ass
Swayze in the
cream.
chat saying secretion cola.
Yeah, but nobody uses that anymore because the beaver castoreum is actually kind of difficult to extract, and we have much better ways to do it now when we produce artificial extracts and things like that. When we take them, putting, you
That's
can
too
actually
bad. I think we got to get away from this artificial shit.
Well, yeah,
get
we're
back to using
naturalists
beaver
here.
ass.
Holistic
Right?
beaver ass.
Right? We need make Canada great again. Let's start using beaver ass and everything.
Like the good old days.
Like the good old days, right? Let's get
Holistic,
the
baby.
beaver, forget fucking gas and oil, right? Beaver ass. That's where the money is, right? We're going to bring it back. Let's fire up the Randomatron, see what it spits out this week. See if I can get this.
See if you can get it running.
Yeah, it might crash my screen again. I don't know.
Oh, great.
And here is the tail of the tape for this, our main event of the cryptid bout.
What's
between
this?
Momo and
Oh,
Nine.
shit, a cryptid bout.
Oh, what's on the card?
Oh, we got Momo. We got a height advantage to Momo at 7 feet tall. We got but nine Loveland frogs at a staggering 3 feet tall. Momo's got the weight advantage at 400 plus pounds. Each Loveland frog weighing about 60 to 85 pounds, but there's 9. The Loveland frogs, obviously, first coming in from sighted in 1955. The older of the two cryptids, Momo, 1971. We've got Momo is a terrestrial humanoid, while the Loveland frogs are aquatic terrestrial frog creatures. With
Wizards.
the skills, the Loveland frogs obviously have the magic wand, and Momo has his unbridled rage. Now back to the theorists ringside so we can discuss who would be the victor in tonight's cryptid bout.
Cryptid Crushathon.
Yeah, I think we forgot to mention that we are keeping a close eye on the up and comers for the next Cryptid Crushathon.
Yeah.
There's been some what are they called? The preemptive bouts, the prelims,
Qualifying bouts.
Yeah, qualifying
Yeah.
bouts. I know a lot of people that listen to our show aren't really with the cryptid scene. So we're bringing you the stuff right here.
Well, both of these guys are American cryptids. Momo obviously is
Missouri. I think he's
Missouri, and
yeah.
he's not a. People do not say, they don't say. They say the thing that's unique about Momo, more so than Sasquatch, is that just absolutely violent. Right, like this thing,
Just pure rage.
just.
I think he
pure
attacked a car.
rage.
I'm pretty sure he's attacked a couple cars, in the initial sightings. I think I remember something that being a quality that he exhibited.
Yeah, like he is aggressive, territorial, like lots of people who have claimed to see Momo. It's not a fun encounter. Like he's mad, he's angry. Now, the Loveland frogs have been around, they've been getting sightings up until recently. Like people on playing Pokemon Go out in the woods and stuff, seeing these little Loveland frogs. Now,
Just throwing their
you're
little
fucking- you're
Pokeballs
fucking
at
out
it, being
there
like,
to
why isn't it
ki-
fucking
yeah.
working?
You're out
Yeah,
here
they're
trying
like
to catch a
looking at the
Why am I
squirrel.
not catching this frog?
Yeah, this is not a fucking Squirtle. What the fuck?
right now, the thing is, there's 9 of them, right? Like, because obviously, if you're going one Loveland frog versus Momo, obviously Momo has weight, strength, size advantage. But when you start to get into the 9 Loveland frogs, you're kind of like, first off, what do those magic wands do? If they're just a shining light, which no one's ever seen any magic come from them, but I would say this: if they're shining a light, that's got to be magic because they don't have flashlights. Secondly, they can use the little clubs, right?
It's true.
They got little clubs.
I think both creatures are semi-aquatic. Like I think Momo has been associated with rivers and he's always spotted near some type of a moving body of water.
Yes,
so
but
it's like,
the Loveland frog can go under, from the tails of the Loveland frog, much like a frog. there's a tadpole stage that they're
Right.
only seen underwater, right? So it's like they're full at some point in their life, they're full aquatic.
Well,
right?
I'm
So
saying
they
like
do-
it wouldn't be if the match takes place in an aquatic environment or something like that. Like the Momo won't be too out of place like on either. Like I think it'll still be as far as terrain goes.
wherever this fight goes,
yeah.
wherever this fight goes, it's a mess.
I think this just comes down to, it's plain and simple. It comes to like the old equation, like, would you rather fight, 10 mini Mike Tysons or one giant chicken?
Right? Yeah.
Right? Like, what would you rather face?
Well, I'm just gonna say like the little frog bodies. Momo, I think Momo's gonna do some damage, but I do think the 9 Loveland frogs come out on top. There's just too many, too overloaded, too fast.
Do we?
They know magic.
Have we heard word about why the CFF, the Cryptid Fighting Federation, has allowed 9 Loveland frogs versus Momo? Was there a statement put out about that? Because I might have missed that. I think
Momo would grab these
Because
Loveland.
the weight classes equal up.
Yeah,
9 of them equal 1 Momo.
Yeah.
No, it's actually no, it's more because they're 85 pounds
There's-
each.
Yeah, they're
Oh, are
60
they? Wow.
between 60 to 85 pounds. And they have a weapon. And they have claws and teeth.
All I'm saying is, how many of these frogs you got?
9.
9.
Yeah, are we sure
You
this
tell
is
me at
this is
least
official
one of them
prelim or is this
knows-
an exhibition? Because this feels like
One
this
of
feels like a
them-
gimmick if there's 9 of them.
One of them knows Avada Kedavra. One of
Instant
them.
death?
Game fucking over. Toast.
No, Momo,
there's no-
Momo grabs one of those little frogs, just grabs them as weapons themselves and just starts whirlwinding around and just knocking them around.
I do think that I will say, looking at the Loveland frogs, if I was Momo and with the size and strength of Momo, I do think that he's pulling a few apart, like right in half. Just like,
It's
Think,
gonna be- it's
think
gonna be
about it this
messy.
way. Think about it this way. It'd be like, say, 9 200-pound humans facing one like 1,200 pound giant. There's no fucking chance. You're toast.
yeah, but see the
No matter how
difference
big a
is like
club
the
you
frogs.
have, it'd be like a little toothpick
Well,
trying to hit him in the ankle.
Yeah, but they can jump, right? So they got the little frog legs. They can jump on the back. They do have claws and teeth. So I just think that I don't think we're seeing any kind of crazy. This isn't a one-sided fight, right? We're not seeing Momo come out unscathed. We're not seeing
if they know
9.
magic, and it's all game over.
If they know magic, that's true. If they actually know some
it's game
spells,
over. We need to know the level of their magic. How many? What year at Hogwarts did they make it to?
Well,
we
so
need to know these things.
The only amount of magic that we know of that they have, there's 2 things. The 2 accounts, most accounts say it's just a light. Like they're holding it and it's a light at the end, right? So they're lighting up the dark at night. So it
Luminos.
Luminos. That's really the only spell or magic that we know they can use.
Fucking
Now, the second
Momo's
thing,
eating frog legs. Then, boys. It's over.
this is interesting.
It's over.
There's a couple people who have taken shots with a rifle and a pistol at Loveland frogs and have said the frogs just took off like they weren't even hit, right? So whether that goes through them or like through and through their little frog bodies, or if they're little,
Just miss.
Even saying that they missed them, or if they hit them and they have some type of like, maybe their skin is highly durable or, impenetrable or whatever. If Momo hits you with one of those giant boulder fists, he's going to pulverize your insides. And plus he could also probably, I would still think we're going to get 1 or 2, 3, I'd say 3 or 4 tops of those Loveland frogs are going to be in pieces all over the ring.
Yeah, I do think I will say this. My prediction for this fight is I'm going to give it. I'm going to go out on the limb here, and I'm going to say that the Loveland frogs take it with 2 frogs remaining, 1 critically injured. He doesn't make it long after the bout. Right? That's the end. That's the end.
It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think it's game
It's
over.
fucking toast,
if
man.
they don't know magic, these frogs are fucked.
Yeah, they're toast. If they just
Toast.
shining lights,
Yeah.
they're fucking toast.
Fucking,
Not even
They
close.
better
they're
like-
shining a light to look for the rest of their body parts.
Yeah, they better light the fucking escape route.
They better light the fucking candles for the memorial.
So you got you 2 got the Momo for the win.
Yeah,
This
no,
Momo.
the magic seals it for me.
Yeah,
Dan, what do you
no
think?
contest.
I was Momo. He's just going to be, yeah.
All right, well, 3-1.
3-1 Momo.
Momo takes it.
Maybe Momo
destroys.
has to face Sasquatch in the.
We might. I mean,
Some-
we'll
I mean,
Slam.
is he shooting?
Oh, he's the world champ.
Have we had word on that? Is Momo shooting for the title, or is he? What's he doing?
We'll have to
Buddy,
see.
He's
We'll-
fighting fucking B-list leveling frogs here. He's going to have some stiff competition before he goes against the champ.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's got to work his way up. Momo's not even that. Momo's probably B tier as well as these guys.
He is. But you know, that can change. A couple more wins, a couple more W's.
He's been gaining steam. Momo's been gaining steam in the last couple of years. Like you're more of a household name now. In the cryptid circles, you hear him every now and then. So
So we'll give it to Momo. We'll plug more cryptids into the Randomatron and see what other matchups.
Keep you updated on the Cryptid Fighting Federation.
Yeah, and if there's matchups that you want to see, that you want to see, let us know, and we'll make sure to plug them. We'll make some phone calls to the Randomatron. Now heading over to our theorist page, we're gonna look at the top posts of the last 2 weeks. This first one is by the meme king himself. This was a good one.
That was really good.
Counting down the arrival of baby Egbert. Obviously photoshopped a picture of me with a younger, thinner version of me. You can be the determinant of which is which.
You're really caressing your own belly.
Yeah, it's good.
Looks pretty good.
It's so funny because I did those. Someone was like, "Do you guys have pictures of you guys together?" And then Jamie's like, "No." And they're like, "Do them. You have to do them because you'll regret it." And I was like,
"Will we regret
it?" So we did. So we did a whole bunch, and then like I was like sitting down because I was tired. And then
you fell into my trap.
She was like, "Stand up." I was like, "No, I'm not doing another one." So I leaned in like that for one as a joke. I thought it was funny. And she posted that one. And of course it got
him.
No,
gotcha.
Got him. Yeah. What else we got here? We've got AstroCat Gaming. Go check her out on Twitch. She sent, "If we get invaded by space aliens, I'm immediately defecting to the alien side. Sorry, not sorry." 100%. 100%. I mean, right away, I'll be like, I'll be wearing my alien shirt out there. I'll be like, yeah, there's some more humans. I'll be rounding them up.
They're over there. They're holed up in the supermarket.
Check the floorboards and the attics. I'll show you where they keep the stairs. You pull this rope, more stairs come down. Smoke them out. I would 100%. That AI was going to chat like, yeah, it's immediately. Whatever side, I'm switching. I'm defecting. I had a good laugh at that. What did we had? What is this one? Oh, this is some old space news, but it was getting lots of traction on the social media. Someone in Australia drew a huge dick just in some salt flats. So in a dry lake bed, classic. I mean, that's always funny. That's from 2018. It's always funny. It's timeless.
The timeless human tradition of drawing large dicks on things.
Yeah, hilarious. So.
One day we're gonna find that cave painting that where you have people that you have the handprints. There's gonna be a dick print somewhere on those cave paintings. Like I
do find it kind of weird that one hasn't been drawn already. Right. That we haven't found one. It's kind of weird.
I mean, they've been drawn, but it's like you're just gonna have like the imprint of one. You're like that caveman.
What else we got here? We got this post. Who's winning? I picked this one. It got a lot of traction because someone in the comments posted this one and said, well, where'd it go? Oh, no, it's all comments. Sorry. Here we go. This one. And I thought Andrew would like that. He said this little military mongoose wins.
Special tac ops.
He's got a ray gun there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking perfect.
Blast.
What is that, a 22?
That's the noisy cricket from Men in Black because it'll fucking blow your face off.
Fucking perfect.
This was posted by Adrian Rogers. And we had the Prehistoric Cheeks by Adrian Rogers again. This got tons of traction on the Facebook page.
The timeless human tradition of drawing thick women on stones.
Yeah, right. That's why it's like when I said this, I'm like, I can't believe someone didn't etch in a like a big ween somewhere on some prehistoric rock.
There's a non-zero. There's a non-0% chance that some caveman was jerking it to that. Like
100%.
I didn't even think of that. Just like ooga. Oh shit, that's funny. He's just like, oh, he's such an artist. He's like, they're like bringing each other and look at this.
Draw me like
beaver assholes.
Draw me like one of your Denny Sovins.
That's the first porn right there, boys. That's the first porn ever done.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
That's all we had for the Facebook group. If you want to join the Facebook group, see some of these funny memes and actions and stuff, or post some of your own alien theorists theorizing on Facebook, and then just hit join the group. Answer 2 easy questions. Don't be an asshole and follow the rules. Yes.
Boom,
You're in the
boom.
group. Boom. Easy that
boom,
easy.
Boom.
You want more alien theorists theorizing? Everyone wants more. Head to patreon.com/alien theorists podcast, or go to alientheorists.com support tab. You can get that supercast link. Support the show, support more space news, support more D&D, support your boys doing more things. A lot of people were talking earlier in the chat about D&D. Is like, you want more? Let's support the boys more. And, we'll get around to it. People are asking why we don't do it every week. It's impossible. It's impossible to do D&D every week.
We can
schedules.
barely do the podcast every week.
I do. Those people who are asking why you don't do it every week, like probably most of those people have never run a D&D campaign. Getting 4 grown adults into one room at the same time, impossible.
It's difficult. And stay tuned if you want to join live streams Monday night. Again, that's on patreon.com or Supercast. You get access to the live stream. Come hang out with us as we record the show live, mistakes and all.
Or if you're listening to the podcast version of Space News, you can check that out live. I think we're doing every other Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Co-streaming the 3.
The next Space News is going to be March 26th. So we will see you then. Anything else, boys, before we sign out?
That's it.
All right. I don't know what we say. Do we say just keep those eyes on the sky?
Space.
Keep doing this.
And that's
keeping your
how the
eyes on
news
the
goes.
Hey.